Bring her on. All right, joining me at this time is an indie pro wrestler out of Canada. She's getting ready for a big event, WSU's Breaking Barriers. I'm joined with Jules Malone. She's with me right now. Hello, Jules.
Hey, what's up? How's it going, man?
I'm good, and I want to thank you for being on the show this evening.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm very glad to be here.
Very happy to have you on, especially since we are on the eve of Halloween. And
I
before
know.
and before and before I get into the wrestling questions, let's just get this out the way. Tomorrow is Halloween. What are your plans for Halloween, and what costume are you going to be wearing?
Oh, for Halloween, I am going to be dressed up as a zombified Jules Malone, but like when I was dressed up as Princess Peach. So I'm going to be Princess Peach, zombified with a lot of blood, and I'm going to be going with my boyfriend, Jesse Amato, who's also going to be zombified and bloodified. And we're going to be going to Canada's Wonderland for Halloween Haunt. And we're going to go on a lot of rides, and there's a lot of zombies and stuff, and have a lot of fun there and have some drinks and, and there's they have some haunted houses there also. Yeah, I'm going to make sure it's really friggin' awesome. Let's just say that. How about you?
For me in particular, I would not be wearing a costume. I mean, I thought about it long and hard. I guess Halloween is just not that big of a holiday for me like it used to when I was young. Maybe I'm just not into the costume wearing like I used to. But as far as my plans, I do have to work, and maybe I'll
Hmm.
see some coworkers dress up as costume, and I make fun of them.
Ah, well, you know what? So good.
So,
Why not?
you know, I'll try to have some fun and get some
You
candy.
have to have some fun.
So, so it's all
Promise
good.
me you will.
Well, Jules, I first heard of you through your indie career. You wrestle all over Canada, and you are known for competing in hardcore matches. What made you decide to get into wrestling, let alone being more intrigued into doing hardcore matches?
Okay, well, what got me into wrestling per se is pretty much I was a fan ever since I was a little kid. I would watch wrestling with my dad. He introduced it to me at about 4 years old. I would watch it every single Saturday, and I would always be like, ah, these guys are great. These guys are awesome. I would always try to tell my brother, and I'd get grounded for doing the moves and get in trouble. Um, when I was 10 years old, he passed away, and, when I was, it just sort of, I don't know, wrestling just sort of like stuck with me, and it reminds me of him, so I sort of like do wrestling for like both of us, like sort of both, like because I like wrestling, and I also do it for my dad. I just have been a really athletic person. Ever since I was little, I was like on every single sports team, every single track meet. I would be in every single event I could be in possibly. Um, you know, so yeah, when it came to wrestling, yeah, once I was done all of my education, I finished high school and went to university, and then I got another degree in finance. Then I said, okay, well, I'm done using my brain a lot, so why don't I just learn how to wrestle now? Use my body for a change. So here I am.
And I will say that it takes a lot of guts, regardless if you are male or female, having to compete in the hardcore type matches, if you will. I mean, it's more than just a regular match, and you gotta follow the rules. It's like the rule book is out the window, and you can cause as much carnage if you like. You can use as much weapons if you want, and it's gonna be more than bumps and bruises. You're gonna be left with scars. You're gonna be bloody and things like that. Um, and considering that you are most known for those type of matches, what do you consider as the most dangerous match you've ever been a part of? The type of match that even made you say, "I don't know if I'm gonna make out of this alive."
Um, let's see. I have been in several pretty dangerous matches, I would say. Um, I think every death match is a death match. So, it goes without saying they all have their special qualities. So I could just maybe just name a few. Like I'll just say like three. I'll tell three stories about them. And my first one that I ever did, my first ever death match was a no rope barbed wire match. There was me and 5 other guys, and this was in Toronto, or in London, sorry. And we had to wrestle in a ring that had no ropes, just barbed wire. We had a few weapons here and there, and that was my first one. I was the second to be eliminated because it was an elimination match. So I didn't do too great, but it definitely brought me in. I did taste some barbed wire, and I made some people taste some barbed wire too. Let's see, other types of matches that I've done. I've had dog collar barbed wire matches recently for the Queen of the Death match with IWA. And that was quite a tough match too. Her and I, we pretty much beat the crap out of each other since we were like attached to each other with dog collars, and there's a chain and then barbed wire wrapped all around the chain. And so we were doing a tug of war to see who can grab the most barbed wire, and we're cutting our hands as we're doing it, and we're going punch for punch and kick for kick. And, we brought it in the ring, we brought it outside, we're going through the chairs. It's like 120 degrees outside. It was so hot that day, I remember. There were so many people, and her and I were both pretty much dying just from, like, the elements themselves. So I think we went on for a good 10 minutes or so. We had a whip in there, and we had broken beer bottles and glasses, some broken glass. And yeah, it was a pretty close match, but she ended up getting the best of me, and she choked me out using the barbed wire, and I passed right out. And you know what? I was probably my body was just about to give up anyway, so it was like a really tough match. Another really good one I would have to say was with Mickey Nichols in WSU earlier on this year. We also had an uncensored match. That's where we had used a dollhouse. We had used several other weapons too. And also that's where she put me through a dollhouse, and we had used, trash cans, stop sign, I believe, being there. We just started throwing things at each other left, right, and center. At one point, she put a crutch up my butt, and then I stapled her vagina with a $50 bill. There's that one, and then that was a really good match too. She really taught me. She really taught me what it was like being like a real death match. That was like one of my first real big ones. And let's see, another match that I've done is it was just recently also down in the U.S. for Ohio in JCW for a gathering of the Juggalos. I was in a 13-man deathmatch battle royal. I was the only female. I was the 13th competitor. Everybody had a weapon, and at last minute we were given 80 light tubes, and we just all had fun with it, and and I think I was like the fourth person left, and after me, there's only 3 men left in the ring, so I did pretty good, not too shabby, I'd say. So I think that's like the majority, or I've done so many, sometimes I can't even think, but those are like the ones that really stick out to me.
Well, let me just say that you are more than just a pretty face for sure. You are tough as nails. And for you to have a match like that against Mickey Knuckles, who made a name of herself, that's
She
big volumes.
she is one person that you have to follow, and you have to respect her, because she has earned her status, and so I have to look up to her, and I do, and she's such a big sweetheart, and I consider her a very good friend. She's a very big sweetheart, and I love her. Yeah.
I've had a chance to see Mickey compete in the past, but I don't think I've seen her compete in a death match before. And if I was, I'm not gonna lie, there's gonna be some points when I close my eyes when the blood comes out, and it gets really intense out there, and you're gonna have the holy shit chants coming along, and it's very intense type of match, and it takes more than just skill in the ring. It takes a lot of grit. It takes a lot of will. It takes a lot of courage to be in the environment that your ladies are in. And I give you Jules credit. I give Mickey credit. I give a lot of people credit, male, female, for not only entertaining, but willing to put their bodies on the line, the type of match in order to entertain the fans.
I'm so sorry. I'm really, really sorry. Your phone seems to be cutting out a lot, and so I missed the last couple sentences that you just said, or sentences that you just said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if there's something wrong with the reception there, but can you please say it again?
Okay, as I was saying, I give you and Mickey a lot of credit for doing what y'all do and putting your bodies on the line, and it takes a lot of guts to put yourself in a match just like that. That's what I was saying. I hope you was able to hear me. So I want to talk about this Breaking Barriers match of this event.
Breaking Barriers.
I want to talk. I want to talk about that. How do you feel? This is your I think this is your second time in WSU. Talk about how does it feel to be back at WSU for this event coming up.
This is actually going to be my 5th time at WSU. Yeah, it's my 5th time. For Breaking Barriers, I'm definitely really excited about that. I was actually just announced before we had our interview that I'm going to be facing Nevaeh, and we all know who Nevaeh is. She is a well-established, well-trained professional wrestler, and I've seen her. I know what she's all about. She's very well respected, and she's got a lot of good solid background behind her. So, I know that I need to be prepared, and I need to stay prepared, and I'm definitely going to be ready for what's going to happen in our match. So yeah, I think it's going to be an awesome match.
That's definitely a match to watch for sure. And Nevaeh, like you said, well respected in her own right, and she's going to make her mark in the WSU roster as well. And what's cool about WSU is that usually they give you the local talent, but now they're starting to have talent for all over the country, and they're getting people like yourself from Canada, so they're starting to evolve and introducing people all over the world, and
Aw, you're
so
so sweet. Thank you. Yeah, that's so great to hear that. Yeah.
that's going to be on November the 8th. If you are in the New Jersey area, go check it out. And if you're not, you can watch it on the iPay-per-view. You can
Absolutely.
go to WSU's website for all the details. And I'm reading your up and coming shows. That obviously you're gonna be in New Jersey. You're gonna be in Canada. Also here on
Yep.
November the 9th, you're going to be available for the upcoming customs for New England female wrestling. You've been there
Yep.
before. Talk about that and how can people book matches with yourself and maybe book some deathmatch matches for you for
Yep.
NFW. Talk about that.
You're just coming up with so many good ideas. Let me just say that. All you have to do is you need to contact New England Female Wrestling, and you just put in your request and you send them the script, and they will definitely help you out. And you just check them out online. New England Female Ladies Wrestling, NEFW.
And for people, you can also check out her previous matches there. You can purchase the downloads just to get a good idea what the company is about and give you some good ideas of what type of matches they do. They do competitive matches. They do one-sided matches. At the end of the day, it's all professionally trained wrestlers. So don't email them some fetish stuff because they're not going to do that. It's wrestling at its pure. And what I want to ask you, Jules, is when you first started this, what was your reaction wanting to do this, and how do you feel about it now that you've been through the custom wrestling?
At first I was a little bit concerned about it because I'm like, I couldn't really, I don't know, I felt a little bit unsure. I was a little uncomfortable. I was like, I don't really know what I'm getting myself into. Is this really wrestling, And then I did a little bit of research and I did some asking around and, I was like, okay, this is really legitimate. And I was looking at the other girls. Well, they're all proper lady wrestlers. So, I took a look at the script and did my, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm fine with this. And then, I've been coming back ever since. And honestly, now I think they're fine. It's just you have to be okay with, you have to be able to be comfortable with what the customer's asking for, essentially. So it's you got to do your job. You just have to really agree and just see what's okay. And I don't do anything that I don't like. And it's actually completely ridiculous, and hell no, we're not going to do that. But, honestly, they're a whole lot of fun. And yeah, I really enjoy doing them. So yeah, keep them coming.
And I also want to ask you this as far as custom wrestling is concerned, because whether it's you watch a show on TV or whether you watch an indie show, the show is surrounded with audience, with fans cheering and booing and things like that. But for a custom wrestling shoot, there is no fans. I mean, there's barely anyone surrounding the ring. It's just the wrestlers themselves. And I want to ask you, from a wrestler standpoint, do you think that's kind of odd that you be in a wrestling match and there's no fan interaction whatsoever? It's just you and your opponent. Is that something you consider odd?
Oh, with custom matches, no fans?
Yeah,
You mean?
yeah, no fans, no fan reaction. It's just you and your opponent.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's just quite, it's more of like a more intimate experience of golf. It's like more, it's intimate. That's more focused, and that's all it is. It's like 100% focused on the wrestling and exactly what's going on. And, I think it's really neat, and that's why it's so unique. And that's why I think a lot of people really like it too.
For people that wants to learn more from Jules Malone, you can like her on Facebook. Her Facebook fan page is called Fans of Jules Malone. And for all you Twitter people out there, yes, Twitter people, you can follow her on Twitter at Jules Malone. That's Jewells Malone, all one word, no underscores. And follow her on Twitter. She'll keep you posted on the matches and appearances. And just check this lady out. I mean, she's awesome. She's talented. And she competes in death matches. It's
Yeah.
so, and considering you live in Canada, there's a lot of history with wrestlers in Canada, from the Hearts, from Edge and Christian, to Jericho, to Trish Stratus and Angelina Love. I mean, the list goes on and on. And considering the many years that Canada has help mold all these talented wrestlers, like, how do you feel as an aspiring wrestler yourself, seeing these big names, become household names and legendary in the wrestling industry, and they come from Canada? I feel like they have had equal success with Americans, if not even more. And how does that make you feel as a wrestler yourself, seeing the success the Canadians are having?
Honestly, it just makes me really proud. It's because, I do feel proud of like where I come from, and I've looked up to a lot of these people, and I actually know some of the people that are on TV right now because I knew them from like before, and some of them, like, I come from the same training school as Angelina Love and Gail Kim. So yeah, like, honestly, like, for me, I think it's like a great opportunity, like where I am right now. And it's really inspiring seeing the people who were where I was at one point are over there. And so, yeah, it keeps me inspired, and it keeps me wanting to move forward and keep going on living my dream.
And I will say this, that two more Canadians to keep an eye of, maybe in the next few years. Both are in NXT right now. Sami Zayn, definitely making a name for himself, and Kevin Steen, who is with Ring of Honor now. He's with WWE under NXT. Those two are going to be big stars, in my opinion, within the next few years, if they're not already. Um, I mean, Canada is they just know how to make big stars, apparently. So, and I feel like there's more to come. I got a lot of faith in you, Jules, as
Oh, thank
well.
you.
You making a name for yourself. And with the year winding down, getting ready for 2015, and this is my last question I want to ask you.
Okay.
What are some goals you want to set for yourself as we get into the new year? We're in the last few months, if you will. What are some goals you have for yourself as you get ready for the new year?
My goals for the new year are I'm actually going to be sending my stuff in, and I'd love to be in Shine and Shimmer, and I'm going to be sending my stuff into WWE and TNA also, and I would like to travel to Japan and England, but I know can't do it all next year, but that's all, whatever comes first is going to happen. And yeah, that's my dream so far for 2015.
Well, Jules, it was great chatting with you, and I want to thank you for being on the show with me. You joined me for pretty much the second half of the show, and I appreciate it. Again, Breaking Barriers, November the 8th. Jules Malone versus Nevaeh now confirmed. And go check it out if you're in the New Jersey area. And if you're not, go check it out on iPay-per-view. And book a match of Jules Malone for New England Female Wrestling. You can check out their website for more details on that. And she's going to be in Canada for Death Proof in Toronto on the 21st. She's going to be at Eclipse in the Ontario area. And for 2015, you'll be back at Death Proof. And you're going to be at Conflict on the 7th. So all her dates are on there on the Facebook, and she'll post more on Twitter. Again, Jules, thank you so much. I would love to interview you again in the future. And best of success goes out to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It was very nice talking to you. I hope you have a great evening.
You too.
And thank you so much, everybody, for listening. I hope to see you soon. Mwah. Jules, I'll see you.
All right. You have a good night. Have a happy Halloween, too.
Happy Halloween, everyone. Mwah. Bye.
Bye-bye. That was Jules Malone joining me.